Hi everyone, welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name's Stephen, and today I'm joined by Terry, and for the first time we've got Greg on one of our extra time videos. Today we're looking at Everton's 2-0 victory over Leicester City at the King Power Stadium, one that we're all very happy about, I'm sure. I'll come to you both first. Terry, first reaction on how the game went, mate. What did you think?
Excellent. Another Chelsea-like performance, but this time obviously away from home and without Goodison, which I was, a little bit concerned about going into the game. I thought, will we be able to replicate that without the fans there? But once again, just brilliantly well-drilled performance from the team. Defensively solid. Went into the game with a real clean sheet mentality, to steal a phrase from Owen. Yeah, couldn't be more happy. Everyone did their part defensively. Obviously, we got a couple of goals. One was a mistake by Kasper Schmeichel. Second one was unfortunate for Kasper Schmeichel, considering he made a couple of good saves beforehand. But most of all, just the work rate from the team. Every single player was just fighting for the results. From the defence to the midfield to the forwards. Fantastic performance and a good win to set us up going into the rest of December.
Yeah, and as you noticed today, guys, we haven't got Owen with us, and Terry's been the first person to get Owen's clean sheet mentality catchphrase in there. So, yeah, you're the winner of that one today, Terry. Greg, I'll ask you the same question, mate. Do you think it was a better win than the Chelsea game overall, or would you say the Chelsea game tops it?
Yeah, I'd say maybe a better win. As Terry said, it's away from home. We don't have the fans in. And I think where Leicester threaten that maybe Chelsea don't is that they like to play that long ball over the top that we've seen Michael Keane and Yerry Mina struggle with, seasons before, last season especially. And for us to have got that, I mean, Leicester didn't play it that much. I thought they made life a little easier for us. Obviously, they had the weaker team. That back line was a bit cobbled together, especially with Christian Fuchs. He looked like he was puffing after about 20 minutes. But as I say, away from home, another 2 clean sheets on the bounce. You can't complain about that. So just the show of momentum that it's giving us, a better win, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I think we definitely stopped Leicester playing more than we did Chelsea. I think Chelsea were much more in the game on Saturday than Leicester were on Wednesday. So I think it was a fantastic win, up there with one of the best of the season so far. As well, Greg, going back to your starting 11 video you did, you predicted Jordan Pickford to start, which I think a lot of us did. And Robin Olsen actually got the nod from Ancelotti in this game. Were you surprised to see that? And what did you make of his performance?
Yeah, he can't just let me get one starting 11 totally right, can he? Just when everything looks set, he goes and changes the goalkeeper on me. But I was surprised because I thought Pickford had a good game against Chelsea. So it seemed drop now was strange, but I guess just with a heavy fixture list coming up, a bit of rotations, to be expected. And as with last time, he was back in after a game, Jordan Pickford. So I imagine it'll be the same again. Olsen in for one, and then Pickford will get a decent run until Olsen's called upon in the cup.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Olsen. I have been in I think he's played 2 or 3 games now, and I think I've been impressed in every single game he's played. Terry, what did you make of Olsen in goal?
I'm happy to see him in goal. If I had my way, he'd be in goal, now until, he plays his way out of the team, because, Pickford has, improved a little bit over the last few games. He's not been as erratic as, he has been in previous games. But regardless, I just feel so much more relaxed with Olsen in there. And it's not even a case of I don't think Pickford's got ability. It's just you're so much calmer with an unspectacular, steady goalkeeper in the goal. Now, obviously, he's only played, a couple of games. The mistakes could come with Olsen if you were to see more of him. But I was happy to see Olsen. I'd be happy to see him going forward. But I'm like yourselves. I don't think it's something that will particularly stick. I think it'll just be something Carlo likes to do, rotate the goalkeepers. But Olsen just, dealt with everything that he had to deal with. No issues, no heart and mouth moments, no flapping up balls. Pickford's, improved of late, but, he doesn't meet you. It's hard to forget the way he was playing before that. Very erratic, very, up and down performances from him.
Yeah, I mean, if he's a calming influence for us as fans, you've got to think he has the same impact on the back line as well. I mean, if you're a centre-back and you've got Olsen behind you, you kind of feel comfortable playing it back and getting him involved in that sort of playing out from the back style. But with Pickford, you're just worried that he's got a mistake and he's going to hold on for it too long, or or just boot it up off the pitch, you know.
See, for me, it's not even the sorry, Stephen. It's not even the open play type stuff with Pickford. Pickford's, when they put the ball back to him, I don't think that's the biggest issue. When the back four and Pickford together, I think it's set pieces, and Pickford can't help that. He's too small. Like Olsen's 6'4", 6'5". He's physically so much bigger that if Olsen comes for something on a corner or a free kick, you can pretty much rely on him within reason to get there if he's decided to come for it. Whereas Pickford, how many times has he caught it and dropped it, and had issues like that? So I don't want to make it a Pickford bashing session, because, as I say, he has improved in the previous games. But for me, I'm not flip flopping on it. I'm sticking with my opinion that I think Olsen should be in going forward. I just don't think he will be. I think this is just something Carlo's going to do on a game by game basis. Every so often he'll change the keeper out.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there, Terry. I think he's the unspoken about hero from the Leicester game for me. I think he was. People made a lot of talking a lot about how good Alex Iwobi was, how good Richarlison was, Decore, but I think he was the unsung hero on Wednesday night. I think Robin Olsen really did help, and you mentioned there, Greg, moving onto the defence, about how the centre backs seem a lot more calm, and he's a lot more of a calming influence in the net. How good's the defence been? I love to get people's opinions on this, because it's crazy to see how much it's turned around. What did you make of the defence?
Yeah, I mean, it's just another stellar performance. It baffles me a little bit that it's all the same personnel that we've been seeing, but I think it's credit to Ancelotti as well. Just he's been tinkering a lot. A lot of people have been unhappy with his team selections, especially in that defence. When he's putting Delph and things in there. But if we carry on losing and chipping goals, he looks like he's tinkering too much. But now that we've settled down and 2 clean sheets in a row, it looks like he's just a pragmatic manager. He's tried a few things and it's now paid off. I mean, those two centre backs, the two boys, Godfrey and Holgate, playing fullback, just incredible.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic, and to think that we had, again, 4 centre backs in a back four, it just worked for some reason. And Terry, Ben Godfrey's looking like a player, isn't he?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Godfrey since he's come in. I like that type of defender. Obviously, he's built like a fruit machine. He's big, he's strong, but he's also got that burst of acceleration. He's really quick. But the main thing is he likes to defend. He likes to tackle. He likes to battle. He's got the shades of. I don't like doing this because it's comparing him quality-wise, but Jagielka was like that when he was young. He wasn't the most attractive type player. He wasn't he wasn't John Stones. He wasn't like somebody straight the ball about or someone like that, but he liked the battle. He liked the dirty sides of it. And I see a lot of that in Godfrey, and I think we've got a good player in our hands there. There's a reason we changed our transfer policy in the summer when we were basically looking to just loan our centre-back, weren't we, after Gabriel? And then all of a sudden,
there was a lot of talk about Tomori and players like that, and we've seen, Ben Godfrey at the age he is, and the fact he's a young English centre back, he just seems to be paying it back every single game. When I watched him at left back, and to be honest with you, at right back he was okay, but he wasn't outstanding. At left back, he's just been fantastic, and I think for me watching him, he reminds me a lot of Joleon Lescott in his early seasons at Everton. The towering player in defence who can play on the side. All right with both feet. He's quick. But I think, and Greg, I'll ask you as well, what do you make of Ben Godfrey? Because he's getting a lot of praise and he deserves it, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, just a great utility man in the back line, to be honest with you. He's done well on the right, as you said, done well on the left, and it's starting to make us ask the question, when Luca Dean and James Coleman are back, who are the 2 centre-backs we start with?
Yeah, I think it's just it's amazing to see a player that Ancelotti and Brands have obviously put faith in, coming into the team and really already paying back the price we paid, because he made his debut against Liverpool and looked okay, but to see him really come into his own, and he doesn't seem like once Luca Dean's in the team, the way we're playing, it's similar to James Rodriguez and Seamus Coleman. If we've got players that can play in these positions, and in such a commanding way. It's tough to see where, who's going to take his place, because he's just been fantastic. He's really, really good. And I'd say he's been probably the standout player in our team recently. Greg, you mentioned in the starting 11 show about Richarlison, about how he seems to have lost his head a little bit. About how, he's in a bit of a rut, and he was. I think that was a fair point. He really got his own back yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think that's something to say as well. Like, when I say he's in a rut, I just mean within himself. I think a lot of commentators have got the wrong side of Richarlison, especially, just saying it goes down too easily. He's not made for the English game. I've seen a lot of people just blow it out of proportion. I think he was in a bit of a rut. He's got a bit of a strange demeanour. Every time the camera's on him, he's never smiling. He never looks happy, and it's always, I don't know if he's just in the zone. But great for him to get a goal. I know Schmeichel sort of helped it in, but hopefully that can sort of open the floodgates for him a little bit.
Yeah, Terry, I want to get your opinion on his goal, because I think the commentators sort of played down how good a goal it was. They sort of made it sound more like it was a Kasper Schmeichel howler. But what did you think of the goal?
I mean, it was a bit, wasn't it? He sees it too late, and it goes practically, through his hands. But the thing about Richarlison is he's got the mentality of a top player. He works for the team. He's not all just about himself and wants to get the goal. But he also plays on his mind when he doesn't score. That's why he was trying to get the penalty last week. He hasn't scored a lot this season, and he wants to change that. It's December, and I think that was only his second league goal last night. The other one being a penalty at Palace. So I can understand him being a little bit upset that, because he wants to score, because that's the mentality you want in players. The goal, I hope, now opens the floodgates. I hope he starts going on a little run himself now, because he's got just as much goal scoring ability as Dominic Calvert-Lewin for me. The commentators just make me laugh. Like, it's just it's same. It's just lazy punditry. The things they come out with, he's got like the best. I mean, for the past couple of seasons, even, like, he's got the best tackling stats and ball recovery stats of any forward. Or if he hasn't got the best, he'll be in the top, 2 or 3. He constantly performs graphs as arse off, and then you get absolute idiots who go, I don't think he likes playing in the. Was it Phil Neville said he don't think we like playing in. He likes playing in the rain and the winters. Like, yeah, all right. He hasn't been playing here for years already, and you've seen him. And it's the thing with the diving makes me laugh. It's like these big name pundits who don't make the same observations for other, darling club players. They don't ever slate Harry Kane for it. Salah gets a little bit, but not as much as he deserves. I've never heard them say about Mane. I've heard them say about Salah, but Harry Kane doesn't get it. Just because he's not in one of their favourite clubs. If he played for Chelsea, it wouldn't get mentioned again.
It'd probably be mentioned how he's got good game management skills or something to go down and win.
Yeah, as Carragher says, when it was Harry Kane, it's streetwise. When it was Richarlison, he's never seen a player go down more in his life.
Yeah,
you just don't like admitting it. But he's a top player, and I'm glad he's got his goal, because I think now more goals will come. It's just something that's been frustrating, but it doesn't affect his work rate. He doesn't sulk. He's just got that piece, I'm afraid. He looks like he's sulking, but he obviously still always works for the team.
And mention Phil Neville making comments about he doesn't like playing in the rain. I watched Phil Neville for years at Everton. There was times when he didn't look like he liked playing in any condition, to be honest. So I think, but I was really impressed with Richarlison, probably more than any other player yesterday. He really showed his quality in the opening minutes, the way he was so keen to get on the ball all the time. He had the beating of their right back for most of the game. And you could tell from the offset, he really, really wanted to get a goal, and it paid off for him. That goal was, I don't think a lot of keepers would have saved it, and the commentators obviously made the point that the Kasper Schmeichel made an edit. I think it was just a really good goal myself. Going back to the commentators and the lazy punditry you're talking about there, Terry, there was a lot of the typical Alan sort of stereotypes. Oh, he's a destroyer. Oh, he does all the dirty work. Sort of things that you say when you haven't really researched the player. But he was very good, and it was sad to see him go off injured, wasn't it, Greg?
Yeah, it's a concern, of course, going forward. Who's gonna play that role? Because I know it is a bit of a cliche that he's a destroyer, but he is probably the one player in our team who really fits that profile of a disruptor and someone who's going to get stuck in. That being said, in the second half, I thought Decore stepped up. He played a game of two halves, really. First half, he was getting forward, joining the attack. In second half, I think he made two fantastic challenges in the box to stop it and then walk away with the ball and distribute. So it's concerning, but I think we've got a few players who can fill in. Decore, on Davies maybe, and we saw Holgate do it a few times last season.
Yeah, and we're gonna mention who we think might take Alan's role in the preview for the Arsenal game that's coming up. But you mentioned Decore there, Greg. I thought he was brilliant again, and he was given man of the match by Amazon Prime. So, do you think he deserved it? I'd just like to see what you thought about Abdoulaye Decore's performance.
Yeah, spot on. I'd have given it man of the match myself. I think he maybe wasn't our sexiest signing of the three midfielders we brought in. People were excited about Hammers, star factor, and Allen because we were so desperate for a defensive midfielder. And Decore maybe slipped under the radar for some people, but I think he's just a man who is told what to do and does it well in that midfield. If it's joining the attack and getting things moving, or if it's Allen going off and he's got to step in and defend and make some last-ditch challenges, he can do it. And the energy he has is incredible to me. The fact that he's still making those mad dash runs in the 90th minute,
Yeah, and it was unbelievable to see. He looked like the happiest guy in the world when Mason Holgate scored towards the end. So that was definitely worth it to see. He's one of those players you'd love to see him getting around the pitch. You love to see him doing all the work that he's known for, and he just seems to be enjoying himself at the minute, which we want with all our players. Terry, Alex Iwobi, we'll go back to him again. Has he found his position?
I don't know whether he's found his position. He's found his feet almost. Like he seems more settled in the team now. He comes in like the first season. It was like he was a player from abroad, wasn't it? It was like he'd have the odd good performance, and then he'd go off a cliff. And he seemed to like
dealing with physicality when he'd come through the ranks at Arsenal, and he'd been a decent player for Arsenal. He did. That's a good comparison I'd never heard before. Terry, he looked like he'd a player come from a foreign league.
Yeah, he came in and he scored goals straight away, didn't he? But then he got the injury around this time last year, as it happens, December, and then he just fell off a cliff completely form-wise. Like he seemed like he was just behind the pace of the rest of the team whenever he played. But he's come back this year, and he hasn't been great every game this year. But these last few games, he's been unreal. He's looks like a real player. Long may it continue every time he gets the ball. And frankly, being on the right-hand side, you say, has he found his position? I don't know. Maybe the idea, Carlo wants is he wants players to be adaptable to play a few positions. So, he's playing on the right-hand side. Because let's be honest, in our 4-3-3, James Rodriguez is going to play long-term as long as he's fit and on the right side of the front three. But Iwobi's made himself now that extra person. The way we had that 11 against Spurs, and then the only one you could sort of point at was Andre Gomez and say that position, that third midfielder, is the one that's up in the air. Well, right now, if everyone was fit overnight, if you waved the magic wand, it will be starting somewhere in the team. You move other people around if you do, because he's hitting his best form, not his best goal scoring form, but certainly his best form playing wise now. And he's proven a lot of people wrong, myself included. I was never a Iwobi skeptic to begin with, but I had sort of put my colours on that mast eventually. I started off going, we'd see what he's like, could be all right, but then I like a lot of people have decided no, it's not working, it's not going to work. But being pleasantly proved wrong this season so far. He's found his feet, as I say, in the team. He now demands selection, which only that's a good thing. You want players to be like, we can't drop him, he's too good.
Yeah, and Greg, I'm interested to see what you think about as well, because I was just so impressed with him. And I asked Terry there about has he found his position, and I think once he learns how to cross a football into the penalty area, he will have found his position. And I was watching it with my dad last night, and he said he's great at winning corners, though, isn't he? Because it always seems that his crosses at the first man and go for a corner. But Greg, just interested to know what you think of Alex Iwobi and how well he played last night.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a solid run in the team. It's doing the world of good, and on crosses as well. I think last chance of the game, really. He put a great ball in, almost a cutback sort of scenario to Gylfi Sigurdsson. He does have that crossing ability. I think it was in his last 2 seasons at Arsenal. He created the most chances of anyone at the club. It's not a bad statistic at all. So he's definitely got that creativity in there. It's just about confidence, maybe. I don't know. Maybe the fact that he's now getting a run in the team and is performing better proves he does perform better with a bit of confidence. But and finding his position, I know a lot of Arsenal fans liked him at number 10, playing more centrally. He was maybe a bit more creative there, or played his more creative games there. So he's definitely adaptable. As well as you were saying, Ancelotti likes players to be able to play around, and he's now shown wing back, out on the right, and through the middle he can be used.
Yeah, and I was just really impressed with him, and hopefully this form that he's got carries on. And we can talk to a blue in the face really about whenever Everton win an away game like that, convincingly. It's always a pleasure to speak about. But I think we've covered near enough everything there. Just to finish off, I'm interested to see what people are thinking, because we've got 2 really good away kits this season, and I want to know, Greg and Terry, are you team green or team amber?
Go on.
Terry, I'll ask you. Go on.
I reckon I prefer how the green kit looks. Aesthetically, it's a green kit, but I just can't go on with the green kit on the pitch. I don't know if it's my eyes, but the contrast against the grass just doesn't work for me. I love it in person.
See, that's funny for me, because I'm the opposite. I think it looks better on the pitch than it did in like the pictures and that. Terry, you team green or team amber?
Team amber, but I am not enamoured with the amber kit like a lot of other people are. A lot of people are like, Everton's away colours are amber. I'm not like that. I don't mind a pink away kit or a black away kit. But at a push, probably the amber, because the amber's just so nice this year. The green is great though, and I'm like yourself, Stephen. I think it's better on every kit's better on the players than it is on other people. But yeah, it's a very, very close run thing, but just amber by a hair.
Yeah, and I just wanted to ask you the question, because the Everton Twitter account made a big thing about how we wore the green kit last night. And people say, no, that green kit's brilliant. The green kit's brilliant. It's better than the amber kit. And I don't know. The question doesn't really hold much weight. I was just interested to see, because it's been a long time since Everton have had 3 really good quality kits. And yeah, that's going to be it for this one, everyone. Let us know in the comments, are you team green or team amber? Do you like, what do you think of Everton's performance away at the King Power Stadium? Is Alex Iwobi found his position? What do you think of Richarlison's goal? Everything we've covered. Of course, it's not just us 3 who get a say in it. As Owen would say, football's all about opinions, and it's a clean sheet mentality. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching this one, guys. Go get yourself a deal down at evertondirect.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go find the podcast, all that stuff. And yeah, until the next one, we'll see you later.